Hello friends, today we are going to discuss on GST, which state or how the money is, which state receives the money on the GST what you have paid. As you know, GST is a destination based consumption tax. When you say destination based consumption tax, that means where the goods or services is consumed, that state gets the tax amount. Now many of my friends and clients, they ask me, is it fair? Now the factory or the unit located, suppose for example in Tamil Nadu, you produce some goods and you supply to a consumer in Karnataka. So where finally the goods are consumed, that state gets the money. So the whole production happens in Tamil Nadu, whereas it's consumed in Karnataka. Karnataka state gets the money. So is it fair? Now in the erstwhile law, in VAT or in service tax, always it was a origin based tax. Origin in the sense where the goods are produced, that state gets the revenue. The GST has totally altered the way the tax is collected. Now I give you a small example. Now suppose there is a car manufacturer in Chennai. The car is costing around 10 lakh rupees. They are supplying this car to a consumer or a customer in Uttar Pradesh. This 10 lakh rupees, you assume 40% because car is a luxury good, so there is a tax of 28% plus cess, so just assume it's 40%. So on 10 lakhs, the manufacturer in Chennai bills for 10 lakhs plus 4 lakhs as GST. He supplies to Uttar Pradesh. Now Uttar Pradesh, it goes to the dealer, and from that dealer it goes to the customer. So finally the 4 lakhs tax which is paid by the dealer in, suppose you don't bring dealer in between, directly there is a customer. So the customer directly buys from the manufacturer. So this 4 lakhs of tax which is paid by the customer there, the whole revenue gets split between CGST. Actually the bill will be IGST, which gets split into central portion and state portion. So not even 1 rupee is received by the Tamil Nadu government, but it is shared between the center and Uttar Pradesh government. Now why it is so? Now I want to ask you a tricky question. As a manufacturer, suppose you are a B2B manufacturer, I want to ask you a question. Do you pay GST? Do you pay GST from your pocket? Now many people, many clients or friends, they tell me, so much GST we pay. So as a manufacturer, I want to ask you a simple question. Do you pay GST from your pocket? I will go 2 steps further. I will say, if your goods or services are exempted, there may be GST which you may pay from your pocket. But if you are a taxable supplier of goods or services, I say you don't pay 1 rupee GST from your pocket. Do you accept that? I'll give you a small example to prove my point. Okay, there may be some working capital issues because the customer doesn't pay you in time, so you have to struggle to pay GST, that is secondary. Now we are into the basic foundation, the basic structure of GST, where we are saying whether you pay GST from your pocket. For example, the same car manufacturer in Chennai, he supplies this car to a customer in Uttar Pradesh and charges 4 lakhs GST. So that means 4 lakhs is given by that customer to the manufacturer here. So he gets 4 lakhs in hand. he might have already purchased some goods or services where he has paid an input tax of 2 lakhs. So how much he'll pay to the government? He'll pay to the government 2 lakhs. So in this situation, does that manufacturer pay anything from his pocket? No. He collects 4 lakhs and the tax actually in GST, the tax flows through the goods and services. It doesn't stay with you. It is a tax. If you are giving services or goods to somebody else, the tax also goes along with it. And finally, the last customer who buys this product, the whole amount is paid by him. So for example, 4 lakhs is paid by the customer in Uttar Pradesh to you. So 4 lakhs becomes a cost to him. So for you, you have recovered that money. But 4 lakhs is the cost which finally the consumer pays. So the last consumer always pays the tax. So naturally, the consumer is in Uttar Pradesh. The tax should go to the customer where the state is residing. So this is the basic fundamentals of GST. I think many of the friends are missing this point. See, where the goods are originating, that state should get the tax. Of course, if the consumers are here, if you are consuming goods here, services here, definitely the taxes will be received by the state where the goods or services are consumed. I hope I am clear. One more point which I want to deliberate or tell you is, there's a lot of debate nowadays going on for boycotting the Chinese product. I know the sentiments are high and China is becoming very aggressive on the borders, but economically, can we fight China? Can we totally stop imports from China? A lot of statistics come, they say so many $1 billion we are dependent on China, suddenly we cannot stop. No, we cannot. But each individual, if we decide, okay, today, from now onwards, we will try to reduce the usage of Chinese products. Now, for example, in India, you get Chinese product, you get American products, you get German products, but you hardly get an Indian product. Whereas if you go to China, people prefer a Chinese product. You will not get an Indian product. If you go to an America, people prefer an American product more than other products. If you go to Pakistan, you will not find an Indian product. So if you see in India, our Indianness is lacking and we are more obsessed to the foreign products. Why don't we start believing in Indian products and go with the theme of our Prime Minister, Atmanirbhar Bharat, where we are self-reliant. We believe in our products, we start buying the products. So if each individual start thinking about it, and from now on, if they decide, they will reduce, I'm not telling we'll stop, as far as possible we'll reduce the usage of foreign product and try using the Indian products. I think this drop will definitely make a big difference in the ocean, in the sea, and we have to be more vocal on local. With this theme, I want to close this session, and I would request everybody to be Indian, buy Indian. Jai Hind. Thank you.